which is the hardest part of being a YouTuber? Because it's one of the best jobs in the world. I'm not going to lie. You know, there's other content creators that whine about their jobs, and I really find that disturbing because it is one of the best jobs in the world. You get to set up your own time schedule. You get to talk about whatever you want. You don't have a boss, right? But there is one aspect of it that I would consider to be absolutely horrible, and that is the fact that you have to interact with Twitter. I'm not kidding. It's not like, you know, you're an individual and you just happen to go on Twitter because you're... No. You have to, right? Like, it's part of your job. It's part of the market. You have to go out there. And arguing with some of the most disingenuous people is very consuming. Because you know that if you were to actually stay with that person at a table and just have a normal one-to-one conversation, you could just reach a point where you agree with each other. But on Twitter, the other person has to play for the crowd. They gotta display that, yeah, actually, I would never agree with this other guy because this other guy is evil. So you gotta do it. You gotta get that zinger because it's what drives the content. It's what gets people to look at you and notice you, and it's very annoying. But you do get the zinger, and it's satisfactory. So this is why I was late. I got the zinger. You don't know who any of those people are. Well, Meloni Mac, I don't know who she is either. She seems to be like a pretty lady, I guess, right? But she is the co-host of The Quartering, and she's covered in tattoos, and she's religious. I suspect that maybe her early life was not as pious, because usually, like, Christians do not tattoo themselves. But she's also renowned for saying the F word. Not fuck. You're allowed to say fuck in 2024. The other word. But unfortunately, I'm not a pretty lady with tits. So if I were to say that word, I would get punished by YouTube. And she's renowned. Like, she says it all the time, right? Again, she gets away with it. Pretty lady and all. Pretty woman privilege. So she had a conversation with Actman. Now, I don't know Actman that well either. I know he's a movie critic and a video game critic. And in the past, he was... Like, let's put it like... I really hate the word anti-woke, right? Because it actually means normal. There are individuals that are not into ideology at all. Like my wife, for instance, she doesn't know what woke is. But she finds woke games to be absolutely disgusting because of the aesthetics. And she also finds the stories to be absolutely moronic because of the themes. So, like, she doesn't really understand politics or anything like that. But, like, if I show her a woke product, she's like, well, why do the characters look like this? Why couldn't they hire better artists? Right? Like, she generally doesn't understand anything. But like, let me give you an example between woke and non-woke so you can understand what I mean, right? So, imagine that you're a person which has absolutely... no idea, like, just no idea about politics. You're just being shown a product, and you're asked, like, okay, which one do you think is better? So, this is from Blizzard, right? And this is the character that they're going with. And the reason they're going with this is ideological. It's not that they actually polled the market. It's not that they thought, okay, well, this is a design that will sell. This is something that people will want to buy toys. This is something that people can put on their t-shirts, or they will have posters with this on their room. No, like, the reason that they're doing it is to change society. They are thinking that these individuals that look like this are marginalized. And if you put them in a video game like Overwatch, everyone is going to now accept these individuals, right? So, like, they assume that they know what's in people's brains, and they assume that by using their product, by using their platform, they're going to change society. But the only thing they're doing is they're putting this, and people go like, ew, brother, ew, brother, what is that? Brother, ew, right? Like, you don't have to be anti-woke. You don't have to understand the ideology. You're just shown this product, and you're like, brother, what is that? Brother, you know? Right? So this is what they're doing. Let's look at another company that actually cares about the customer.
Rage, money, power,
That's it. 12 seconds. 12 seconds, and I look at the comment section, and people are like, where's my credit card? Where's my credit card? Well, God damn it, I need it. I need my credit card. I need it right now. Right now, I need it. Where's the credit card? Right? Like 12 seconds. That's it. That's it. And people are like, take my cash. Take my cash. And it's a genetic shooter. It's a genetic shooter. Very bland. But it does the job. You know, hey, it doesn't reinvent the wheel, and it doesn't fucking have to. So, this is why it doesn't sell. Like, people are like, why should I buy this? And unless you're like part of the woke ideology and you genuinely believe that this would change society, that if people see these characters everywhere they look, and all of a sudden they will become more accepting and more tolerant, like unless you're part of that ideology, you cannot support this. This is just like, I don't even know. Like okay, it's not heroic, it's not graceful, it's not like you don't want to. When you're playing a shooter, you want to be this character, right? Like, no one wants to be this character. It's just, like, so safe, you know? Like, why would you spend money on this? The whole purpose of a looter shooter is to sell loot boxes, to sell the skins. Like, in what costume would you want to see this character? Right? So it doesn't make sense. So this is what anti-woke is, what people talk about. Like, and why I hate the definition of anti-woke. Because you don't need to know ideology in order to just reject this and be like, I don't want to spend my money for this. I don't. Like, it's fine if it exists, you know, like, go ahead and make it, but don't force me to say that I like it. Don't prevent me from laughing at it. Don't prevent me from mocking it. It's ridiculous. And I'm not even mocking the actual design. I'm mocking the company for having the audacity to hire people that told them that this is going to somehow sell. No one is going to buy a keychain of this. No one is using this as their avatar. Believe it or not, I've seen people using this chica as their avatar already. Like, I have seen people on Twitter with this chica on their avatar or on their banner because they're identifying with it. There's fan art of her. There's, like, communities built around this character. I haven't seen it with this character. It's not woke or anti-woke. It's the fact that the people that are making this and marketing this are mentally unhinged. And I don't know how they keep getting jobs, but it is what it is, you know? Like, this is why I hate the word, as I mentioned before, anti-woke. Because it's not. It's just normal. It's like people reject the product because they don't like the product. It's like me selling rotten apples, thinking that if I push enough rotten apples, then eventually people will like it. If I show rotten apples everywhere, and I put them on every poster, and in every video game, and in every movie, everyone is eating rotten apples, then my thinking is that it's going to become acceptable, and people are going to start eating them. But it doesn't work that way. It's a false ideology. The premise is false. Like, I'm all for being more tolerant and not marginalizing people, but this is not the way to do it. You're not going to achieve your purpose by stuffing it down people's throat, by forcing it on their screens and trying to force people to admit that, oh yeah, actually it's great. No, it's not. It's shit. I hate daylight savings, but on the plus side, I get to watch you live now. No, there is no grace for daylight savings. Anyway, right, so the first Descendant thing, it's a gacha game. If you want to play it, I would recommend you don't link your credit card to it. Unfortunately, gacha games are becoming more and more popular. Like, as the West is doubling down on the aesthetics, and a lot of people don't want to admit that when Capcom released a survey, aesthetics was the number 2 thing that would drive a game. The first one was price, right? So, like, the first thing that gets people to buy the game is the price, and the second thing was the character aesthetics. And look, it is what it is, you know? Like, if you're a person that genuinely doesn't care about how the characters in your video game look like, that's fine, but you need to understand you're in a very small minority. Most people buy games based on looks. This is why marketing is so important. This is why they really care about how they put the characters on the box. This is why, like, the cover of a comic book is really important, that there's an entire science built around it on how to make it great, because people are visual creatures and they do care about aesthetics. So, just denying reality, just pretending that this is not the case, or trying to force an ideology in, and you're like, okay, we're going to have like eyesores, and we're going to chastise and attack people that do not agree that the eyesores are great. Yeah, you're not going to actually accomplish anything. You're just going to look like a weirdo, and people are going to just look at you. But anyway, right, because of that, because the West is doubling down on this ideology, gacha games are resurfacing now, right? So like phone games that no one thought are going to actually be good, they're becoming more and more popular. And my advice to you is, if you play one of these games, you do not link your credit card. Most of them offer you a bonus for linking your credit card. They will say something like, you get some free gems or you get some free currency if you do so. Do not do it, right? Because linking your credit card makes it more convenient for them to just be like, oh, here's a new sale, and you just need to click a button, right? Now, usually, when people have to actually take their wallet, pull their credit card, start typing the number, they may go like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, these are just pixels on the screen. I'm not going to put in my credit card. I'm not going to put the wallet, right? So, like, they will stop. But if the credit card is already linked, it's called an impulse purchase, and you may have buyer's remorse afterwards. Kind of like giving me a super chat. But anyway, what you need to do is to just play the game, and if you played it for months and you think that you enjoyed it, then sure, like give the devs some love, because these games, they do need funding to operate. So, like if you spend like $60 on a gacha because you played it for 3 months and you enjoyed it, that's actually a better price conversion ratio for entertainment that you can get by purchasing a $120 quadruple A game that you play for like 5 or 6 hours and then you get bored of it. So anyway, Meloni is just insufferable. I haven't listened to Meloni, but I do agree that her take is really bad, right? So like her take with Actman is something that, well, I don't really like criticizing people that go like, oh, well, it doesn't help our cause. It's not about the cause. It's just like, yeah, no, her take was stupid. Let me see if I can find it. And basically the reason she's getting this take is that the new Halo company, I don't even know how they call themselves anymore. Because they got like a new name every single fucking day. Like they just changed their name to Halo Industries or some shit. I don't know. Whatever. But the idea is that the company behind Halo is now making an announcement that the person in charge is this black lady, right? And when you look at her, it's not like the type of person you'd expect to be matched in a Halo game, Like, she doesn't stereotypically look like a Halo player. But that's okay, because you go into what else did she do, Like, did she actually work as a developer on the game? No. So, it's a salesperson. That's what it is, And in America, salespeople, especially at big companies, are renowned for being completely disconnected from the market. Like, these are people that learned about the world from a university. They usually have no clue how the people that buy the product look like or what they enjoy. And if you look at the announcement of the company, it's kind of there. Like, the previous ones that made Halo understood that the reason people enjoyed the game was because it's hyper competitive, right? When Halo came out, this was actually innovative in the sense that you could drive a vehicle. Most first-person shooters weren't like that. They didn't have that ability, right? So most first-person shooters were kind of like Quake, Doom, Half-Life, and you couldn't drive a vehicle in those games, right? And now you have like Halo, and there were a couple of others where you could actually just get into a vehicle as your character, and now you're controlling the vehicle, and that was like really fucking cool at the time. But the competitive nature is what stood out, right? The competitive nature, and also the story was like having a character that's incredibly macho, like, insanely masculine, willing to put himself in harm's way to save others, etc., etc. But the recent changes in the company means that almost all the developers that worked on it are not there anymore. And now you have like completely different people. So it's still the same company name. It's still like the same video game, in the same franchise. but it's like completely different people working on it, and most gamers don't have faith that the different people have the same understanding of the game. Because when they release a statement, it's like, oh, the reason people like our game is because of graphics. And it's like, no. No, like, completely off. Insanely off. You know, like, who did you ask in order to get that response? So, people don't have faith in the game. And then when you look at the type of people working there, you know, pronouns in the bio, various flags and paraphernalia, basic kneeling in front of an ideology that doesn't vibrate or resonate with a lot of gamers. So, again, you know, like, the level of trust is at an all-time low. I expect we'll see a Cortana with a manly jawline and shit, and the game is going to just be filled with bugs and more generic. Simply because these people are probably capable, given their track record, at creating stuff. That's good. So this is why, you know, like, people are upset. But, like, what Meloni is doing here, she's obviously reaching. You know, like, I'm all for being skeptical of a company and just waiting for them to show something that actually is a fuck-up. Like, for instance, having Master Chief without a helmet and showing that Master Chief is a black woman. Because at this point, I expect it. I find it unlikely, but I wouldn't be surprised, you know? So, like, I'm waiting for it to happen, but I'm not going to just say bad stuff if I don't see it there. Like, you know, it's like, let's wait and just first find out, you know, how Cortana has, like, the most manly jawline imaginable, and she's got broad shoulders and no ass and no tits, and, like, and then you can say, oh, yeah, okay, a representative of the ideology, right? The avatar of wokeness has arrived. It's the only thing that these people know how to create. Their understanding of what a woman looks like is someone that votes Democrat, right? And then you can make fun, it's fine, right? Then you can make fun because it's expected. I would be surprised if we actually see a Cortana that's a more realistic depiction of what she looks like in the first one. Or, you know, understanding that the type of people that play these games are into competition, sex, and violence, right? So, like, you have, like, hyper-violence, have Master Chief kill its enemies in the most bloody and gory way possible, and have the female characters that have massive booba, pretty much like in the first Descendant, right? Like, again, let me go back to the commercial so that people can see it again if they've missed it. God damn it! Why did I close the window? What am I doing? What? Give me a second. Hold on. Chotomate. This is important. So I can articulate what I want to say. Here we go. Right. So the purpose is to sell the game, right? Like, this is what you're trying to accomplish. Now, if you make a character like this,
Rage, money, power, and
right? There is no downsides. There is no downsides in making a character like this. If you make Cortana look like this, there is absolutely no downside. There is no player that would have bought your game, but now if they see Cortana looking like this, they will go like, you know what? I did a bad decision. I'm going to get a refund. No. Quite the opposite, right? Like, quite the opposite. But if you're going to have Cortana with a manly jawline and she looks like a space marine, then people are going to go like, yeah, I think the people making this game do not understand their audience. They do not get it at all. Why do I want to look at this eyesore on my screen? I didn't buy a new graphics card just to see the details on this manly woman. Right? Like, there's a lot of individuals that think like that. You may disagree with them, but I guarantee to you they're more than 10% of the customer base, right? So you have one decision. You can do this, and you don't upset anyone, and you may even get people interested. Or you can do the eyesore and alienate people so that you can have conversations on Twitter about it. It's like, you're just into pornography. You're a gooner. You want to goon, and I want to prevent you from gooning. You can only goon to LGBT themes because I say so. I want to dominate you over Twitter. You know, it's like... but like, yeah, no, it is what it is, right? So, Meloni Mac, completely off base regarding her criticism. Cortana best design was the original Halo 1 design when she was purple and had the pixie cut. Like, the whole idea, look, I will explain something to you. It's like this is basic human psychology. You don't even need a degree to figure it out. When a man sees something like this,
Rage, money, power, fame.
our lizard brain just goes into overdrive.
Big, big, big,
Right?
big.
She can be the nastiest woman imaginable. She can be a piece of shit. She can be vile. She can be evil. She can be a nice lady. It doesn't fucking matter. Your brain is already being like, okay, I want to protect this lady. I want to know more about her. Like, already you're interested. It's just how human beings work. It's subconscious. Unless you're gay, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's fine. If you're gay and you're looking at this
Big, big, big,
and you don't feel anything, like,
big.
that's okay, right? I'm not judging. But, like, how many of your customers, what is the percentage that you think are like this? I don't know how women react. Like, I think, like, women, when they see something like this, given what I'm looking at Twitch, they're like, oh, I can't hardly wait to cosplay it. Or, oh my god, she's so pretty. That's literally what women said when playing Stellar Blade. I was like, oh my god, she's so pretty. Oh, I can hardly wait to cosplay something like that. Now, maybe if you're like a morbidly obese American lady, you feel threatened or something. Like, you're like, oh no, this is why guys aren't interested in me. This is why guys don't like me. It's simply because that they're into this fictional shit. Like, they're into pixels, and Chad doesn't like me. And it's like, no, that's not why Chad doesn't like you. Chad doesn't like you because you're fat and ugly. Which is fine. Work on it. Hit the gym. Get on a diet. Come on. Chad has to work on it as well. Like, Chad has to work on his personality too. We all have to work on something. Stop being lazy and complacent. But anyway. Or, you don't have to be with Chad. How about that? How about you lower your expectations? The same way you want Chad to lower his, why don't you lower yours? But I guess these are conversations and topics that shouldn't be brought, right? Not to mention, like, these characters are overrepresented. I refuse to believe America is this ugly, right? Like, I refuse to believe that this is the face of America. Come on, really? Like, okay, I know some people may look like this, but is this like the face? Is this the symbol? Are you going to plaster it on the Statue of Liberty now? Are we going to the level where you want me as a Romanian to believe that if I go to America, I just see people like this everywhere? Is it the case? Don't you think it's a little bit of over-representation at this point? Is it the face of Walmart? I would expect that in the future only fit people will go to Walmart, because the people that are very plump and obese, they can just order with Uber Eats. Life is getting to the point where you literally do not have to leave your house. Like, you can work from home, you can order food at home. Like, if you want, you can turn the house into your maximum security prison. She is the face of UC Berkeley. Oh my god. There's grannies better looking than that at my Walmart. How old is Melody Mac? Because, like, I heard that Melody Mac is pretty old, but she's still okay looking. I need to keep it a bit low so that my wife doesn't hear. Walmart delivers directly. Well, there you fucking go. You don't even need to leave your house. This... 40-ish? Dude, if she's 40-ish and she looks like that. No, seriously, I'm just like, I'm impressed. But like, I do think that she has to put a lot of effort, right? Because this is another thing that I see women that are jealous on pixels on the internet doing, right? So let me see if I can find a picture with Melody Mac. Okay, I think I found one. I don't know how recent it is. And by the way, I'm not saying that she's a sex symbol or anything like that, but I do know that a lot of ladies are seething, right? So, like, if she is of the age of 40-ish, and she looks like this, I just want to tell you, it's not natural, right? Look at how much makeup she has to use. Right? Like she has to put it on makeup, she's got to put on jewelry. It takes time to do her hair. I mean, she's got long hair. Can you imagine just how long it takes to dry? Oh, fuck. I'm a man. I don't need to do that. It's like, in the morning, I wake up, and in 15 minutes, I already have, like, my hair. Well, hold on a little bit. I don't even know the concept of drying hair. You just get out of the shower, I put a towel, and I start combing. And that's it. It's there. But my point is that women that look like this, they have to not just be on a diet and usually work out. I don't know if she works out. But you gotta spend a couple of hours in order to apply the makeup, in order to do your hair, in order to do all of this shit. And then you have, like, the lady that's from UC Berkeley, which is quite obese and plump, and she's like, it's not fat, it's the jeans, it's the jeans. No, it's not the jeans. It's not the fucking jeans. It's to get the fuck off of your ass and start working on your body image. The same way that men have to work on their character. That's what it is. You can't just, like, be envious and jealous of other people and not do anything but expect that somehow magically you're going to be better than them. No. Like, oh, why is Chad looking at pixels? Why is Chad not looking at me? Because you're not willing to put an effort. And maybe you're not at Chad's level. Like Chad is not on the level of every woman. There are women that, Chad wants and they don't want him. Why do you think that shouldn't apply to you? It's like, yeah, there are some people that are out of your fucking league. It's just the way it works. Right. Anyway. She isn't that old. She's 38. Well, still at 38, she looks decent. 38, look, I'm not saying that 38 is old as in retirement, but football players usually retire by the age of 38. People in the military retire by the age of 38, so I think it's safe to assume that by that age, come on, right? Like, you're not like you're 20 anymore. It's sad, like, because I think it's like the powerlessness to stop it. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. We reach a certain age where, yeah, you can say that you're not at the point where you were at 20. When you're at 20 years old, you have a lot of energy, you can do a lot of shit. You have certain advantages that you don't have at 38. At 38, you have wisdom. Supposedly. 38, middle age in Europe. I see. 38 looks a lot rougher on women than it does on men. Well, hello, Zephyr. Zephyr has went AWOL. Hold on, I need to send something to Zephyr. I will send him something online. And after that, I'm going to get back to you, chat. Alright, hold on. I think this is the one. Alright. I'm sending Zephyr. Okay. Here we go. It's done. I have sent him the stuff, and you guys won't know what the stuff is. It's mysterious. Anyway, right. So the thing with Ahmed, this is where I wanted to go. He's responding to Melody Mac, and as I mentioned before, Melody Mac is a little bit out of place, right? Like, her criticism, I don't agree with it, and I do believe that it's people call it grifting, which I assume is like, oh, I think this is going to resonate with people. I don't believe it, so I'm just going to post it anyway. Maybe it's like that, like maybe you're trying to be antagonistic. But this is literally what Ahmed does all the fucking time. Like, he's just trying to be antagonistic, and I'll show you in a bit what I mean. But here's the thing, right? General real sick of these pussy-ass political ideologues masquerading as gaming content creators who only serve to invade our gaming space. These parasites make me sick. How is this any different than what Melody Mac is posting here? Like, you're literally doing the same shit she is. You're being an antagonistic, cheeky little shit. in order to drive engagement, in order to make people aware of your blue check mark, your little money maker. That's what you're doing in this picture, right? Now, when Melanie Max says this, you're like, I'm usually a big advocate for the mentally disabled, but this take is so dog shit, I have to make an exception. Why can't you just have a normal conversation with her like a human being? You know, like the left keeps talking about basic human decency and shit. Why aren't they lecturing Ackman about it? Like, why are you complaining like that? And by the way, there was another tweet where it's like, oh, we need to bully people. But why do you want to bully women? What the fuck is wrong with you? Just have a normal conversation with her. Like, she is a content creator like you. Or maybe he's afraid she will drop the F word on his stream. Who the fuck knows, right? She's not going to DMCA you. I guarantee to you that. You know? She's not going to Content TV you. She's not going to Andy you. It's like, no. You can actually have a conversation with her. And to be honest, it's quite easy. I seen Melanie Mac debate. She's not that good. Like, look, this can be like a training arc for you. Like an anime training arc. You go to the little slime that's like level 5 and you level up after defeating. Come on, you can do it, Eggman. You can do it. Assuming you want to have a conversation. If you don't want to have a conversation, why even engage? But if you do engage, why are you engaging so disrespectfully? It's like you're looking for a fight. Comes off as weak, you know? Like you're starting shit, but when the kitchen gets too hot, you're the bitch that's leaving the kitchen. Just like, have a stream and then just have a normal conversation. You can even be the moderator. Yeah. 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 Where's my chat? Fuck. Here we go. No, Ackman did win a debate. He did absolutely trash an individual that makes me embarrassed that he's on my side. It's like, look, if you're on my side, that's fine. But if you're having like these debate skills and this level of rhetoric, maybe don't debate people that are hundreds of thousands of subscribers higher than you, so that everyone can get to see how they mop the floor with you. No, seriously, like imagine having Ackman mopping the floor with you. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care which side you're on, but please don't name drop me. Hello, Mr. J. Yeah, no, like, there's this guy, this Andy Pants, which apparently was, like, into social justice, but then, he had the change of heart, I suppose. And he debates Ackman, loses the debate, because he's too aggressive. You know, like, when you debate someone, your body language, your, presentation usually matters more than your opinions. It shouldn't be this way, but it is. Like, if you're debating with someone that seems calm, relaxed, and they're charismatic and enjoying themselves, even if they think 2 + 2 = 7, and you keep just spurting out, and you're like, 4! 4, damn it! Fucking 4! You know? Like, if you do that, you're losing the debate. Even if you have the arguments, even if you're right, the takeaway from the viewer, the people watching, are going to come out that you're unhinged, and the other guy was the reasonable person in the room. It's just how humans work. It's why politicians always lie. Right? You need to be aware of this shit. So, like, if you have a guy that's very calm and collected and charismatic and he's laughing at you, and it doesn't matter if you're making good points. It doesn't matter if... And not to mention, like, he makes some points and then doesn't follow them up. Like, that's also bad. So, anyway, right, like, Ackman just mops the floor with this guy. And then this guy privates the video. No, sorry, he doesn't private the video. He disabled the comments. You do not give comment sections disabilities. Come on. Come on. You don't know. No. Andy. Andy, no. No, Andy. Do not give comments disability. No. No. Disables the likes and dislikes ratio so that even people with the the browser add-on can't see that your video is disliked. Ah, Andy, no. And then do you know what he does? Chat? He DMCA's the act, man. No, Carl, no. Right, so like, no, seriously, like, this is what happened, right? The act man and him had an interview. And if I, like let's say if myself and the quartering, right? If we do an interview, we do a stream, and we're together. Unless specified otherwise, we both have rights to the footage. Because we're both recording it at the same time, Andy. Oh. No. Right? Like, it's kind of like if I'm recording the Statue of Liberty and you're recording the Statue of Liberty. Just because you upload the video on your channel before doesn't mean you get the rights to it. No, Andy, no. No, Andy, no. So yeah, basically this is what happened, right? Like the Ackman uploaded the footage, which of course he can claim that he's the one that recorded it because it's a screen with two people. There's no way of telling who recorded it or not, right? It's just like a Skype call between two people. That was the screen. And even if you recorded it, he's there. He has rights to... Come on. Oh. So he DMCA's the act man, which, you know, doesn't end up in a lawsuit, but he admits he's wrong because the internet doesn't like DMCAers, which is good. But if people were on your side and they were like, you know what, he actually won the debate, after that, no one is going to say you won the debate. At least act like you won it. Come on, debate level 101. At least pretend that you won it. Or at least say, you know what? Yeah, it was my first debate. That's also acceptable. You can say, yeah, it was my first debate. I went in it too hard. I was too emotional. I did a bad thing. I'm not experienced with this. I didn't expect it. Blah, blah, blah. It happened. Laugh it off. And people will respect you for that. People will respect you. You know what, guys? Yeah, it's true. I went into the debate and I was a little bit emotional. I came out strong at him and I shouldn't. And it ended up with, me looking dumb. It's fine. It's okay. Right? Like, no one has that expectations. You're not like a professional CNN anchor. Like, it's alright. You lost the debate. Good. It happens. Get another one and do better next time. But no, Andy goes on and he's like, which, to be fair, it's probably why Ackman wanted to debate him. It's probably why Ackman wanted to debate him, because, like, this is what Ackman does. Like, he selectively chooses the people he engages with, which is a good tactic. I'm not, I'm going to applaud it for doing it. There's a lot of other content creators that did the same, like you're being an antagonistic cheeky little shit, and then you're just selecting the comments that you want to engage with. Which is pretty much what he did when he suggested that, are there any other YouTube content creators that want to engage with me on the topic of wokeness? Like, here we go, right? So, he posts this, because this is why I'm even in his radar. Well, why he is in my radar, because I don't know if I'm in his radar. He probably watches this and sees, but of course. Here we go, right? So, if any YouTubers want to have a discussion or debate with me on wokeness in video games, feel free to DM me or to reply to this tweet. I'm still very interested in the subject, right? So, like, it's very interested. It's got 200,000 views. It's got people interested, right? And here I am saying, sure, no problem. Just let me know when it's convenient. Now you can see that I'm the second one that pops up because I got like 700 likes. 34 retweets, 39 comments, which is a lot more than other people got, right? Other people are barely getting noticed. So it's not like he doesn't see me, unless he's not interested in this, right? Unless he just posted this and went away. If he clicks on this link, I will be the first that pops up. Now notice that there's no reply from him to me, but he responds to the aristocratic utensil, was like, explain this, buddy, I'm not the art director, Lemao. So in other words, he's like only responding to the things that are easy to respond. Like he picks and chooses his targets, right? In order to act like an intellectual. Like he's not going to respond. And by the way, I don't care if he debates me or not. I'm just saying that he's not going to respond to people that are making well thought out posts. But he is going to respond when someone gives him the bait. Which in the case of the aristocratic utensil, you know, the way he framed it, it's very difficult to take it back. But the way he should have said, and if he would have said this, then he wouldn't get the reply. If he would have said, well, if wokeness makes video games look like this, don't you think that people are less likely to buy it? Right? If you say something like that, then he's probably not going to engage. So, this is what he does. And this is a type of strategy that I have seen many content creators do. Being antagonistic and only picking the type of responses that are easy targets. Which is why he's going to debate Andy Pants. Because he found out, oh, Andy Pants used to be a leftist and now he isn't. But he's not going to debate Meloni Mac. Even though, like, I think, like, you can win a debate against Meloni Mac. Again, like, I've seen Meloni Mac debate. Nothing wrong with Meloni Mac. Like, I'm not insulting her or anything, you know, but I don't think debating is her skill. I think, like, a person that's a skilled debater is going to be able to come out of that looking good. Making Ackman look good. Yeah, it's pretty much what happens if you're not good at debating. Now, I'm not saying that if you're not good at debating, you shouldn't debate, because that's how you get good at it. But, like, debate people your fucking level. You know, like, if you're bad at debating, start by debating other people that are new at it. And then get from there. If you start debating, like, someone like Ackman, which has, like, a channel of 1.5 million subs, and you can see that the guy is charismatic and confident, like, there's no way you can get 1.5 million subs if you're not charismatic or confident. Right? He has been through debates. He does understand shit, even though he pretends he doesn't. You need to be a little bit prepared. You need to at least know the history of wokeness. You need to know the activists. You need to know what you're talking about. You need to have, like, articles at the ready. You need to be able to follow up with the questions. You need to be making sure that what you're saying can be fact-checked and verified. And you also need to keep your shit in check. You need to act humble. You need to act like a decent person. You know, you don't start the conversation. It's like, oh, Ackman, I know what you're doing. Why aren't you a centrist? No, come on, no. I prefer the Korean style of debating and not the Western style. I don't know the Korean style. But basically, the way I debated, and I think, like, I'm the only person on the fucking internet that actually want to debate against Jim. And the reason I'm saying this is because after the debate, you would go on his channel and you notice that he lost subscribers and I was gaining. And I didn't even intend to win. Or, like, it wasn't even a debate in my opinion. But the way I debate is that I go there in good faith and I try to mirror my opponent. If my opponent is calm and collected and polite, I remain calm, collected, and polite regardless of who my opponent is. If my opponent starts attacking, I attack back. You just have to mirror the conversation. And you gotta go prepared. Yeah, my talk with Jim was basically, there was this video that was released and... Oh, I remember, right, like Tonka, he was the moderator of the Kumate back then, right? And all of a sudden, I'm invited into this server. And there was, like, Tonka, there was Kraut, there were many other people in the server. And Tonka is basically telling me that, look, we got information on the alt-right. Like, they're up to no good. They're doxing people, they're doing bad stuff, and I'm infiltrating them. And if I remember correctly, because this is years ago, I mean, this is more than 8 years ago. What I said at the time was that, look, if you guys want to do whatever, if you're in their discords and you're gathering logs and you're gathering evidence, like, do whatever. It's not my business. I don't care. And he's like, yeah, but don't tell anyone about it. And I'm like, well, it's not my business to tell someone about it, right? Like, if you want to do your investigation and you're like undercover in their servers and you're gathering logs and stuff in order to show it to the public, just fucking do it. But I'm not interested, right? Like, I'm not part of anything. I don't want to be involved in this. Like, I just want to make my videos, right? So anyway, like, this clip is taken out of context. Like, it's edited in a way to show that I'm like conspiring with them, and but it's still basically just like people talking, right? Like, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not saying anything that I'm ashamed of. So the video comes out, and immediately, Mr. Medicare gets like, I knew it, blah blah blah, and he comes on my stream. And he's basically, I'm going to go into the mud with you pigs, and I'm going to tear down the skeptic community. I'm going to ruin all of you. And it's like, what the fuck, So he dropped his spaghetti, and I had no ill will towards him. I still don't. Like, it was just out of the blue. It was just, okay, I guess. I mean, sure. What can I do about it? So, yeah, but like, basically, that was my strategy in debating. Just mirror the person you're debating with. Just try to be in good faith. Like, do not say things that you don't believe in. Do not defend people that you wouldn't want to defend just for the sake of gaining clout. Do not be antagonistic for the sake of being antagonistic. Unless you're with Dev. With Dev, I couldn't hold my shit. I'm sorry. Like, Dev is the exception. I just lose my shit when he is there. Dev and Rags. Like, Dev and Rags have changed me into a worse person. And I do not want to just be on a stream with them or debate with them because I lose my shit. I don't know. They know how to push my strings. At least, like, the people that I was talking with, like Jim and others, like, you can tell that they're honest about what they believe. And they're not bad faith. But if I argue with someone that I feel is bad faith and they're saying stuff that they don't believe in, or they're pretending not to understand shit just to be antagonistic, yeah, I can't debate people like that. Great you like making video for a living. I enjoy conversing and sharing knowledge and opinions to me, but it would be a nightmare to become famous. I don't think I'm famous. I mean, I guess I am of some renown, but compared to other YouTubers that have billions of subs, I think I'm pretty underground. Is it because I saw them as friends? I mean, with Dev, it's because I genuinely believe that he's smarter than he comes out to be, but like, maybe he pretends to be dumb. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what it is, but like, the fact that you can see this is not a stupid person, but if the evidence is in front of him, he just doesn't want to take it, then I can't deal with that. It's very infuriating to have like a normal conversation with a person like that. And with Rags, he's passive aggressive, and that also pisses me off. It's like, if you have a problem, if you have beef, then just tell me what the problem is. It's like, you don't like my squeaky voice, you don't like my accent, you think I'm dumb. It's fine. Just air it so we can see what the problem is and work it out. I don't like the type of people that are very, so what is your problem with me? Oh, there's no problem with you, V. We're best buds. It's like, no, come on. Like, obviously, there's something that upsets you. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm perfectly fine. It's like, dude, do you have a vagina in your pants? Like, come on, just... Right? Or when you have, like, someone that you're talking about Dead Space, and he's like, oh, I don't understand why people say it's woke. And I'm like, okay, but, like, it's a remake of the original, and they went out of their way to change all of the imagery by race-swapping people, by gender-swapping people in commercials. Oh, so what does have to do with it? That's just like a small thing. It's like, yeah, but like, don't you think that's enough to get people to say, yeah, it's fucking woke? Like, if you play a game, and it's made by Nazis, and all of a sudden you see swastikas everywhere, wouldn't it be safe to say, yeah, I think, like, that game has, like, Nazi tendencies? Oh, no, because that would be cool, he says. It's like, it's not about if it's cool or not, right? It's like, how can you have a conversation with a person like, he knows what I'm talking about. He knows my reference. He knows why people say it's woke. Yeah, if you go in a game and you're remaking a game, And you see a poster with a white male scientist, and you replace it with a woman of color that has a prosthetic arm. Yeah, that's fucking woke. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's woke. Like, it's the ideology that no other ideology on earth. Like if Muslims were to remake Dead Space, they wouldn't change a male scientist from a poster and make it into a person of color with a prosthetic arm. Like, that is specifically to the woke ideology. That is, like, inherently woke. The only way that would happen that I could see, like, if someone is remaking a game and they would change something as minor as a poster, is if they want to insert the developers in it, right? Because, like, a lot of developers, like, have this tendency to just insert themselves into the game, as cameos, as Easter eggs, which is fine, right? Like, a lot of developers did that in old games. Like, you'd have a secret room and you'd see the faces of developers. So, like, yeah, sure, like, you have a scientist on a poster and they replace themselves and you have, like, the face of the developer. That's fine. But the idea that they're looking at it and they're thinking, okay, this is sending the wrong message. It's sending the message that only white people can be scientists. So in our horror fictional game, we're going to change that and we're going to put a black woman with a prosthetic arm to show that we believe that everyone can be a scientist. That is fucking woke. I don't know if it's good or bad, if you like it or not, but it is woke. Like, it's safe to say, yeah, no, the people that did that is woke. How woke it is? I mean, it's not as woke as Concord, right? Like, you can get more woke than that. But it is still, like, a level of wokeness that people have accurately recognized and pointed to it. And people like Rags are like, no, come on. Just stop being disingenuous. Dev argues to be told he is right. I know people like that. They never admit it if you are correct, even when proven wrong. Yeah, the other guy is is more difficult to handle than Dev, because at least I understand Dev. Like Dev is like, if it comes from the government and Trump isn't in office, then it's good. If it comes from the government and Trump is in office, it's bad. If it's not coming from the government, it doesn't exist. You're a celebrity to us. My second favorite Romanian. Jesus. Who's your first? Same as Dev, thinking people defend VTubers because they are women, not that they are being harassed for no reason. Well, the thing is, like, it's a little bit more complex than that, right? Again, that is true that there are going to be people who are defending VTubers specifically because they are women. Yeah. Like, if you're a woman on the internet, you're going to get simps, regardless of the content that you're doing, unless you're like 45 years old. But other than that, any young woman on the internet, she is going to get simps. It's just human nature. Like, let me put it this way, right? So you got this lady.
Rage, money, power,
Let's say she talks about astrophysics. And she's really good at it. Like, she's the best astrophysicist channel on YouTube. Like everything she talks about astrophysics is perfectly fact-checked, and she's very persuasive. She gets a lot of people to genuinely enjoy astrophysicism. But she looks like that. Let's even say that she dresses up, right? So, like, she doesn't present herself like this, right?
rage, money, power.
But she's just wearing a normal shirt, right? Like, she's just wearing a normal shirt. But it still has bulges because she's got big tits and she still has the same face. Don't you think there are going to be people that will look at her just because of the way she looks? It's like, come on, this is human nature, right? So yeah, like, there are some people, I don't know the percentage of it, that will defend VTubers just because they're women. Yeah, there are going to be people simping for VTubers just because they are women. But there are also other people that, if she was genuinely into astrophysicism, there are individuals that will be like, okay, let's listen to the content. And they may actually, maybe they already have a girlfriend that they love. Maybe they're married. Maybe they're gay. Maybe they're not interested. Like, it's not their type of, whatever the case, right? Maybe they are genuinely not attracted to her as a woman and they're looking beyond that and just looking at the content. Now, if that woman gets harassed by random weirdos online, yeah, they're also going to defend her. You're going to have the Sims defending her and you're going to have the actual people that like her defending her. Because, like, what happened was wrong. And this is what Dev doesn't understand. Oh, it's just simps. It's like, no, it's not just simps. And then there's people that genuinely do not give a fuck about the fact that it's a woman. Like, for instance, like the whole pick on me drama, right? And this is what Dev didn't want to understand, and I explained it to him several times, and he still doesn't understand it. A lot of the people that were defending VTubers, they even hate VTubers. Like, I know people that hate VTubers with a passion that were defending Pickaby, and they don't give a fuck about Pickaby. So what happened? Well, you got like some random weirdos on the internet who for the last 4 years, they swung their big cocks around like a helicopter and trying to enforce their morality on the internet, like taking their big fat cock and whipping everyone into submission who dared speak out against them. So they're having their ideology, their bizarre takes, their fringe weird ideas, and they dominate the internet space, and everyone is afraid of them. Everyone is scared shitless of them, because if you talk against them, you lose your account, you get brigaded, right? So people are just going in line, and everyone is afraid of them. Companies are afraid of them. Content creators are afraid of them. Everyone is scared of them. So what happens is that one day they decided that the Hogwarts Wizard game is verboten. Like, they decree that. That's what they do. Like, what they just bullshit out of their ass. And they're basically saying that if you play this video game, you're an awful person because J.K. Rowling is committing a trans genocide, and if you buy the game, she gets royalties, so therefore you are complacent. So they're making like all these lists with streamers, and it's like these streamers are playing the game, and if you know them, you need to boycott them, you need to go into the chat and check them, and they start harassing the streamers, they start doxing the streamers, and at this point, the internet had enough. It's like, who the fuck are these people? Who the fuck do these people think they are, right? So, like, even individuals that generally hate VTubers, and they can't stand VTubers, they're like, you know what? You know what? Just this once. Just this fucking once. Like, we're going to join the bandwagon, and we're going to go against the people with their we're going to go against the people with the big fat cocks and show them that their cocks aren't really that big. They may have them big, but, like, there's more of us. We have more mileage. If you put our cocks next to each other, like, we can make more miles than they can. And they were kicking the shit in of the doxers and the harassers. Like, I saw doxers and harassers one day going around. It's like, this is like, we need to go after Pickaby. We need to go after her. And the next day we were like, oh, why are so many people coming after me? Oh, why am I getting doxed? Oh, why is this happening? Oh, what a world, what a world. You know? It was fucking cathartic to watch. It's like the same bullies, because there was like a list of compiled bullying with all these individuals that were demanding for content creators to get bullied. Now they were getting bullied, and they were unable to play the victim card because the fucking receipts were there. And it was like, look, you said this, and this is what you wanted people to do, but they're doing it to you now, so you don't like it. And here you have Dev going, well, actually, you guys, you're not. It's like, read the fucking room, Dev. Read the fucking... No one cares about Pickaby. No one... I mean, someone cares. No, like, some people care. Like, some people genuinely cared. But there were a lot of people that didn't give a fuck. They were like, no, this is not about Pickaby. It's about a different context, right? It's a different context, different conversation. And my advice is that you do not position yourself in front of these people, because these people are upset. They've been bullied long enough, right? Like, imagine you have the bully in school that's bullying the little guy, and finally the little guy snaps and he gets more little guys and they go to confront the bully, and you put yourself between the bully and the little guys. You're like, actually, you know, the bully this time didn't do wrong. It's like, Dev, come on. Dev, read the room, Dev. I'm not telling you what to do. If you want to do it, but like, it's... So yeah. The coffin of Ashley and Lay. I haven't followed that drama that much. I don't know what happened with it. It looks more like someone just wanted to fuck with the developer just because. I don't know what actually happened there, but it's so fucking bizarre. I refuse to believe that people, that they have a problem with incest. Did you watch Game of Thrones? Shut the fuck up. You know, I would understand it if Game of Thrones wasn't as popular. But literally the first fucking episode, just come on. There was another famous American movie that also had incest in it. Like the whole purpose revolved around it. The Bet, I think it was, right? It was very popular with women at the time. Basically like a brother and a sister, and the brother liked the sister, and she was like smoking hot. And they made the bet and the bet was that if he loses, she gets his car, and that if he wins, they get to have sex. And the bet was that he has to take the ugliest girl in school and make her prom queen. And like that movie was so popular when I was a kid. It was I don't know if it's called what's called Flowers in the Attic or some shit. But like for some reason it was like the twilight of my generation. Like women loved that. They absolutely loved that movie. And I was like, why? Why are you like? What the fuck does it have that you like it so much? Yeah, I think it was with Sarah Michael Gellar or whatever. But like again, to tell me that no, like this topic. And by the way, the game doesn't even show the incest. Like that's another thing. It's just like implied in one of the endings. So like, if I see that people are upset about something that happens all the fucking time in American media, and it's like now they're getting upset about this game, I think it may be something personal with the developer. I don't know, like either someone is trying to troll them, maybe they reacted weirdly, or whatever the case. I don't believe that the issue is the actual issue. Yeah, Buffy was on that movie. Yeah. Now I remember. It was like one of those things, you know, you go, I think I was in high school when it came out, right? And I go to high school and every single girl talks about it. Every single one. And they're like, oh my god, the movie is so great. It's so amazing. And I'm like, what the fuck? What movie? It's like, oh, you need to see this. So I got it on a VCR tape, I think it was. It was like, what? This is so fucking boring. It's boring. It's got nice tits, though. Like, the lady has nice tits. But other than that, it was boring. It was like, ugh. Dexter 2 had incest. Both old and new series. Yeah, I mean, again, like, if it's fiction, it's a movie, it wouldn't be something that was never done before, right? Like didn't American Pie also had it? Or no, like, that was, like, a friend fucking the other guy's mom. Wow. Star Wars doesn't count. They didn't know. Star Wars doesn't count. But yeah, like Game of Thrones is the best example, right? Like literally episode 1. This is the first episode. Yeah, it's a main plot point as well. They were step siblings. Look, man, I don't remember. Like, again, it's not my favorite movie, and I only saw it once because once was all I needed. But if they were stepsisters, I don't think it would matter though. Like, if in Ashley and Lele, if they were step, it would still piss people off, right? So I don't think that's the issue. Incest is a crucial part of royal blood. I mean, the Habsburgic Empire had a thing for that, but yeah. How can you mix up Stifler's Bob? Like, these are movies that I grew up with them. I saw them once, but come on, give me a break. Like, I barely remember. I get the general themes. Maybe I can remember 1 or 2 jokes from them. But it's not something that I know religiously. Yeah, like, taboos are spice for romance media. But, like, usually entertainment is stuff that's taboo, right? Like, you look at the Americas and you have, like, so much violence. Like, the whole purpose is that you're not supposed to do it in real life. So, like, you have the fictional outlet of it. Which is, like, interesting because when I grew up, like, violence was completely unacceptable on television. Well, oh my god, get the kids away. We got violent imagery. But if you saw, like, Baywatch, that was fine. Like, Baywatch, at no point were they concerned about the fact that there's kids in the room if Baywatch was on. It's like, oh, it's got, like, you know, women in bikini, and, like, they knew what they were doing, right? But yeah, like, none of my parents or my other kids' parents had any problem with Baywatch. Like, you could be even, like, 13-year-old and you could watch Baywatch and the parents wouldn't spurg out. But if you had Dragon Ball and the parents saw that, like, one of the androids is pushing their hands through Yamcha's chest and is murdering Yamcha, Jesus fucking Christ, chat. Like, that would have been a satanic thing. Like, they wouldn't allow you to watch Dragon Ball anymore. Like, there were kids in my class that were banned from watching Dragon Ball by their parents. That was just like, ugh. Right? So it was like a different thing. Because now it's the opposite. Now it's like, oh, this is not for kids. Like Baywatch. No, 14 plus. Violence, fine. Rick and Morty, probably fine, you know. So, like, I'm just noticing the inversion of morality, right? Like, what was permissible then is not permissible now. What is permissible now was not permissible then. Baywatch was rated G. I haven't checked. But, like, yeah, I don't see why Baywatch would be a problem. Because, again, like, they had some interesting themes. I remember, like, one episode was about a kid with cancer and how he deals with death. And it was, like, a very deep emotional theme. But it was very well done, you know, like, it makes you think about life, and it makes you think about things, because the theme was, you should enjoy the moment, right? You should be grateful you're alive, and you should enjoy the moment, because you never know when something bad can happen, and you should appreciate the ones around you. So it was, like, a really good theme, yeah, it was. Stifler's mom is religion, I see. Yamcha didn't die? The sense of beam, again, dude, I've seen these shows more than 10 years ago. Give me a fucking break. It's interesting that Yamcha didn't die. I was pretty sure that he did. Anyway, right, I should go. I should go and upload the videos on my other channel. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow.